So I've prepared a little introduction to make yourself feel at home.
I feel honored.
Willkommen zurück zu einer neuen Trident Episode. Mein Name ist Kevin und wie immer bin ich nicht allein. Ich sitze hier mit einem Namensvetter.
Richtig.
Er hat auf fast jedem Festival gespielt, das man sich vorstellen kann. Bitte willkommen, der Mann der Stunde, Imperatorz live. Yes, sir.
What's good, everybody? First of all, flawless German, not gonna lie.
Thanks.
War sehr gut, also an alle deutschen Hörer da draußen, ihr wisst, das war, ich würde ihm eine glatte 10 von 10 geben. Ne?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10,
yes, sir.
Straight A. Welcome everybody. My name is also Kevin, or as already introduced, Imperatorz. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, mate.
Yeah, man, it's a pleasure that you're here. So I'm really looking forward to it because I've watched you perform for the first time at Electrum. You're back-to-back on Sunday with Unresolved.
Yeah.
And man, that energy was so like toxic in a good way.
Yeah.
I said to my girlfriend, look at him, man. He's that's the way you want to perform. So I'm so sure that you'll bring that energy also here in the episode, and we're gonna have a really good chat.
I might move a little bit less than on stage, but we will try our best to keep the positive vibes going.
Definitely.
Yeah, generally, mate, on stage, I don't know, I can't do different than that. You know, it's just.
Yeah, man, but it's so good to watch.
Yeah, thank you.
So
for me, I'm getting more and more that kind of response, but I feel like that. For me, it's just normal, right? I can't stand still. I mean, there's nothing better. I can play the track I love playing on a loud sound system together with friends, colleagues, and a crowd. So I don't know. It's the pinnacle.
It's cool. We'll start off with some dilemmas I've prepared, and you can only say yes or no, and then we're gonna go back to them and dive deeper into them, and then we'll discuss some topics that come along the way.
Only yes or no.
Only yes or no first, and then you can like describe your answer.
All right.
The first one. One day I will perform at the Red at DEFCON 1.
Yes.
It's a bold one, but I love that. One day I will make an anthem for a big festival. So that can be DEFCON, but it can also be like Rebirth, Intense.
Yes. It's
go
later into it. Sorry, mate.
Cool.
Sorry, all right.
It's a challenge to keep a live act unique.
Absolutely, yes.
I had to work hard to be where I am now.
Yes.
It's harder to stay relevant now than it was a few years ago.
Yes. And yes and no. I would say yes, but I would also understand why people would say no, so to say. Right? From my standpoint, I would give it a yes. But for the people at home, they might think different, and I'd also understand why no. Because I don't know, I can get into it now, but we do it later.
We can go into it and work towards the main stage of DEFCON. I think that's the best chronological.
I mean, for me, I think it is really hard to stay relevant because of the amount of people you have nowadays coming up making music. Right? I think making music has become way easier than it was, 10 years ago, because of YouTube, harder classes, social media. Everyone shares their stuff now, so I think it's easier to get like the real, to start off to produce music and to start off your career. So I think it is really hard to stay relevant because of the amount of people. On the other hand, I also can understand when someone says like maybe it's not as hard as it was 10 years ago because we have social media. If you grind out your strategy, if you figure out social media, if you figure out what works, how to post, when to post on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, I had YouTube already, blogs, right? There's already 5 mediums which were 10 years ago by far not as relevant as they are nowadays, right? So I think it depends on how you view it. For me, it's really difficult to stay relevant because there's just so much happening and there's so many events and there's way more artists than back in the days, but I have also more tools to really stay relevant.
Yeah.
So it's a bit a yes-no thing, I think.
Yeah. the opportunities to get relevant are there, but you have to like manage your time. You have to make music, you have to perform, but also and post nowadays.
Yeah,
and that's hard in the beginning, I guess.
I think the focus switched from being an artist, right? And if we don't even need to take 10 years ago, right? 5 years ago as example. Social media was already relevant and played already like a big part, but I feel that nowadays it's even more important that you have your socials under control and you know that you post to really stay relevant, where maybe in five years ago you made a hit or you made a big track and then that is more doing the work for you in this regard. So the music spoke maybe a bit more for you. I don't know if that makes sense.
Is it bold to say that social media is more important than the quality of music?
I'll probably make a lot of people not happy with this, but yes.
Yeah, I guess it's true.
I think it's 60% social media, 30% music, and then 10% character and how you sell your brand. Let's say.
Yeah.
There's a handful of artists, of course, where the music still speaks for themselves, right? As example, Vertile or so is incredible. He's not the most outspoken on socials, but the music is just straight A, right? With the singing, then the artwork, visuals, it's all, I mean, the guy's doing basically everything, so big respect for that. And
he's daddy.
Yeah.
Daddy Vertile, definitely.
Bro, there are a few people who are just, they have it, that the music does the talk, right? And for other people, for me as example, I need to be on social media. I also like to do it. Right, I always say that I want to spend less time on it, but in the end, I like creating that kind of content. I like, having something funny and let the people be part of my day to day. I vlog. I try to do giveaways or to take people with me to backstage experiences, just to give a little bit back and invite the people to to the bright side, let's say, of my job.
Yeah, you're very active on social media, and that also creates the feeling that people know you.
Yeah.
While they didn't even meet you, and I guess that's such a warm feeling that fans can get from an artist, and I think that's also, if they have to choose, do we go to Unresolved or do we go to Imperatorz, that they choose Imperatorz on the.
Indeed, it might be that because I like the person behind it, right? They maybe like the music, but when they also say like, okay, it's like the stage energy, or just being a funny guy in this regards where people can relate to, plays of course in the benefit of it. Yeah,
definitely. And you produce music to kind of transfer some kind of feeling to the listener, but you can also do that while being who you are and as a character, so it kind of resonates with your goal as a artist, I guess.
Indeed. I mean, it changed luckily more into the direction that people can be more, or that people show more to be themselves. Like 5 to 10 years ago, the artist image was everyone was like so serious, and you remember all the press photos where people stood like this and everything, right? The general perception, I can't talk English anymore. The general perception, I believe, is more that people appreciate when you are just transparent and just you, 100%. And I realized that since I am more in that way, that it benefited me personally in my career. I'm happy with the content I can put out, right? I don't need to hold back or try to be something I'm not. And I'm glad that the people like that. Right.
Have you already how can I ask this? Is this something you have already always done? Like also when because your first release was like 2017.
Yeah. In the beginning,
is this something you have learned along the way, or
I've learned along the way, and mainly throughout the period after COVID, or during COVID and then after COVID. Right. That was like the period where it really started for me to just care less about what other people may think of you, or how other people see you, and just do your own thing. It's really hard to give a fuck what other people think. Now, can I swear in here actually?
Yeah, sure.
Great. Yeah. I don't know.
You fucking can, man.
Great fucking thing. No, I think that it's really hard to give. It's really hard to give no fucks about what people think of you, right? I'm still learning that. I got way better in it, because if you once see the results in regards to your own personal happiness, when you just put out the content you genuinely like, where you're generally you, and the people appreciate it, it's the best feeling there is.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're like, people like me when I'm me. I don't have to act like I'm tough or have to fit a certain role I always thought I need to fit to be I don't want to call myself successful, to be a successful DJ.
Yeah, people look up to you as an artist. So but
I hope that they'll also look up to me as a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to bring certain values and just be like as open and transparent. If it's a positive and the negative sides, there's like the whole package, you know, because everyone has like the ups and down times. You feel me?
Why is it so hard to give? Because it really sounds easy. I just don't care what other people say. But you're human, so it definitely affects you. But how do you manage that? And how for the people that really struggle with that, do you have tips or what is your thought process?
My thought process is, as soon as I feel that I get down into that spiral, right, that I just try to focus on the things I actively can control, because you can't control everyone's perception of you.
No.
Right? And I feel that if you're down that lane where you can, you know, when you have the first time that you realize that you're in a negative spiral, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
Then that is already the first big step, you feel me? And then it's just a matter of time and practice. What works for me is literally just focusing on the things I can control in that moment, and I'm by far not a master of it. My manager will tell everyone the same, because he is the guy who's putting me then down on the floor when I'm struggling, right? But when you see the first small successes, it's it's really, really rewarding. It's more rewarding than, I don't know.
And it's so weird, because when there are 100 people at your show, for example, and 99 people absolutely love it, and one says, "Man, what the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
Then that one really sticks in your mind. That's so stupid.
It's the same with comments, right?
Yeah.
Comments on YouTube or so, when people say like blah blah blah, this and this is shit, or
you're not Imperatorz anymore with the new stuff. That kind of shit.
Change and stuff, and it's like, that is the moment where you have to be true to yourself and say, hey, it's been now 5 years I'm in this career, as example. Of course I change. If not, it's the same for you as a human, right? Do you want to be the same person as you were 5 years ago?
No, man.
I hope not, because that would mean that you do no progress at all. And even though if some people may seem it as a negative process for you, or negative progress, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Then but as long as you feel happy with it, right, I feel you really need to make steps forward. And if that means that some people don't like what you're doing, it's like you said, it's one negative voice in 99 positive ones.
Yeah.
So to not get caught up into that one negative voice is basically checking it, right, accepting it, reading it, and embracing it.
Yeah.
Because also a negative comment is a comment which helps you further. Negative press is also press, as dumb as it sounds.
Yeah, definitely. I also saw your shirt, the men's mental health matter.
Men's mental health. Yeah.
Is that something you really, after COVID, also are really?
More and more, right? I feel that the generation of artists we are in now, as example, to name a few, like the aversion, mutilator, adjust, you know, like the generation, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
Mental health becomes more a thing in regards that it's more talked about, right? We talk also under each other in regards to I feel currently this in this way because of pressure for the show, or do I put myself too much under pressure, and yada yada, right? We really try to be more open and talk about it. And I think that this brand, as example, I really like it. I think the message is fantastic. We have also talked already of making a collaboration shirt, which will come May, hopefully.
Oh, really? That's cool, man.
May, June, and then we also want to give away like all the profits we make. We go to charity, like
that's
to
awesome.
a mental health institution. Just because I think it's really important, and it's something what a lot of people don't directly see. You know what I mean? And talking about it is not easy.
No.
Especially in the beginning. I'm glad that I'm doing this now for a while, so for me it feels more natural to do, because I realized that if you don't talk about it, you eat everything in yourself, and at some point you are too deep in a hole and it's really hard to get out of it. And only because I'd say, as example, mate, I don't like your shirt, right? It's just me telling you what you'd make out of it is 100% to you. It's not that we are not friends anymore. It's not that I don't like you or so. It's just my personal opinion. You take it and you make out of it whatever you want.
Yeah.
Maybe more people think that way, but nobody has the balls to tell you. And how should you know if nobody talks to you about it?
Yeah.
Right? And you are in any situation in life where you are never the only one.
No.
There have been people already who felt the same crap as you.
Yeah, that's so true, man. You get trapped in an illusion that you're the only one with the problems, because everyone, and if nobody talks about it, everyone thinks that.
Yes.
So that's the paradox. Everyone thinks that they're alone, but makes that.
And when you talk with
your
your
not
mate,
unique. Your problems are not unique.
And when you talk with your best mate about it, you realize, shit. And when he opens and also and says, "Bro, I actually feel similar."
Yeah.
Mate, this is the moment when your personal growth starts. And that is also the moment where, for me, as example, handling negativity or something became easier. Because, I can just call my mate and be like, look, bro, that and that came up now. As example, if something's on Reddit or YouTube comments or whatsoever. And then just be like, do you think it's really like what is your opinion on it, right? Also facing the negativity together. Like I said, you're not alone in life. You don't have to do everything by yourself. No. For what reason? And I feel that a lot of the DJs are always seen for that 1 hour on stage. You feel me?
Yeah.
Which is amazing, right? Please, I never would say that I don't like playing or so. It's amazing. It's basically all your hard work come together to one point. But the weeks towards something towards a special show or something is stressful. You deal with anxiety, you deal maybe with panic attacks, you deal maybe with stress levels you're not used to cope with because you're so invested in it, right? Yeah. And you just want to deliver the best fucking possible.
Yeah.
It's difficult, but in the end we all love doing what we're doing.
Man, it's I just get goosebumps when I hear you say that, because you love it so much that the love and the passion can be so big, and it all comes down to one moment in your mind. And of course it's but it's so,
like, as example,
it can be tough though.
Yeah, mate, of course, right? And then especially in those moments, if you're not able to talk to anybody about it, is difficult. And then when you really, that's why all I can say to the people at home is, if you ever feel down, mate, reach out to your best mate. That's why they are your best friends. I understand that you don't want to talk with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, maybe because you know each other now for a year or for two. Who knows? But if you talk to your best mate about it, he is at least as far that he can listen to you to it. If he is not as far personally to talk about these things from his own perspective, respect it. Yeah. Right, it will come. But if nobody makes the first step, you will never get anywhere. Right, and for me, it helped quite a lot.
Yeah,
like I said, I'm an open book with these things. I talk with all the colleagues about it if it really comes up, right? And everyone has usually the same answer. Everyone's like, "Yeah, man, I know what you're talking about." So again, we come back to this. You're not alone with this fucking stuff.
No, it's universal.
Yeah, it's everyone's problem, and you don't have to be a DJ for that. It can also be, you're like
a presentation, a test, everything.
Yeah, indeed. I wanted to say normal life, but I'm also living a normal life, so it's a bit oddly sad. You feel?
Yeah, but
not focus on music. So to say.
From the day-to-day life.
Yeah. And this can come with anything.
Yeah, definitely. It can, if you want to ask your girlfriend to marry you, that's also the same pressure because you're really invested.
Are you married?
And so, no, I'm not married. I hope I will one day with my girlfriend.
I hope for you as well, my friend.
Thanks.
I was like, he brought up the marriage now. I was like, okay, maybe I have to ask it. Hey, if he's not proposing to you very soon, you know?
Yeah, which Kevin do you mean?
Yeah.
No, but I do respect that, and I really get goosebumps because when you're talking about it like we are doing now, then suddenly I think, this moment I should have done that moment I should have done that.
Yeah.
But you're sometimes so stuck in your own cycle of day-to-day life and everything is busy. There's just one phone call away, the answer.
Mate, check in with your mates as example, right?
Yeah, man.
I'm really behind that in regards to, just sending my mates also. Since I come from Germany, I have a lot of friends still in Germany. It's just sometimes a text like, hey bro, how's it going?
Yeah.
Right? And I don't want to have the, everything is good, like the as always answer. I'm more like the, how's it really going? Is the job cool? Are you cool with your girlfriend? Right? It's 2 minutes, but you can literally open like that the door to someone else.
Yeah.
To really get rid of the shit they have on their chest. And all you have to do is listen and give your personal advice. My advice is not always the best. I would say my advice is never the best. Right? But it's better to have an advice from someone who's trying to be genuine and honest and direct, even though the truth can hurt sometimes, than not having anything at all, and you have to deal with it yourself.
Yeah.
I think. Right?
Yeah, and give them space to ventilate.
Look, if people don't want to talk about it, man, absolutely no worries. All you can do is literally you can kick it off, and if they don't want to talk about it, man, all cool, right? For me, it's still everything good, right? I checked in. I feel like I tried to. I tried my way to support my mate in either a great situation or in a negative. It can also be said like, look, bro, I haven't told you yet, but I proposed to my girlfriend, bro. And then you're from one to the other second, you're not, or you are in a great position to have an amazing conversation with your friend. You get yourself like you push yourself like the serotonin because you're like, man, your friend fucking proposed, right? Of course he's an asshole because he didn't tell you. Right, proactively, jokingly, but but in the end, it's still something really positive you got out of it, right? So really check on your mates. It's one sentence. Hey, bro, how's it going?
That's man, I feel so guilty right now. No. But I don't feel guilty, but I'm just really aware now how simple it is, and because I really see the way what you're saying. And that's really how I want to maintain my relationships. But it's so stupid that if you don't pay attention enough, you're in a fucking rat race where you don't do the shit. Because you're so busy with yourself and, I gotta go to work on time, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. And then...
Look, those things are things which don't come from one to the other day, right? I also have it that, like, for me, it just comes out like, call your grandma. It's the most easy thing on this planet, you feel me? And I'm living 500 kilometers away from her, so she sees me once or twice a year. But every time I call, she's I make her day, and probably more than just a day, you feel me? Yeah. It's not saying that I'm here like a saint or anything. I'm not preaching. I'm also forgetting this shit often enough.
Yeah, sure. Right? You're always a student of this shit.
But it's more that if you once do it and you see like the positive side effect from it, because as example, your mate opens up or your grandma is like super happy or right? I feel communication is key in all aspects, relationships, friendships, business, especially business. Man, how many businesses break down because you bottle up your shit too long, right? And then everything comes up at the same moment, or the situation is too far gone that you just can't save it anymore in the easy way you could have done it. You feel me? It's just only because I tell you something negative or what I don't like doesn't mean that I don't like you. It just means, mate, I don't like what you have done there. How can we solve it? Let me help you, or if you don't want my help, please tell me how you plan on solving it, because it doesn't work for me this way. right? I feel it's so simple. In my eyes, it's so simple.
Yeah.
And yet I'm also, of course, struggling with this, but I'm facing these struggles more and, in my eyes, more and more often, because I think that, not to blame or so, I just think that generally we are in a time where everyone just keeps the crap for themselves and just rather talks over Instagram or WhatsApp or whatsoever, instead of picking up the phone, putting up FaceTime and say, hey champ, 5 minutes of your time and we sort this shit out. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't have to text for 2-3 hours, like a half book every time, and then people misunderstand and yada yada yada. Mate, as a phone call, as a quick fix, and only because we have our differences doesn't mean that we have to part ways or whatsoever.
No.
It's more like being honest to yourself and say, like, bro, this doesn't work for me, and don't accept all the shit people do to you. If someone tells you I'm there at 3 o'clock, then he is either there at 3 o'clock, or like me today, who was delayed. I'm sorry for that. I will text before and then say, look, mate, I will be late.
Yeah.
Right? Don't let other people wait. This is already like the first thing, is fucking respect.
Yeah.
Because it's someone else's time, you feel me?
Yeah.
And it's my fault that I'm late. Probably, or I am late. It doesn't even have to be my fault.
No,
you know,
no, but you take responsibility. I didn't hear you say, yeah, but the traffic was this and this and this.
No,
so I'm sorry, I'm late, and I'll respond for no problem. Drive safe, and I'll see you.
Indeed. Like I said, I think communication is generally key. I know we went now from basically music talk to all the way down to the
but I love this shit, man.
To the ground levels of life. But
yeah,
I feel that if everyone just tries, to just speak up their mind directly, if it's positive and or negative, especially positive is also important, right? Positive reinforcement. Bro, you do a good job, right? If you get this message just sometimes, right? I had an after reverse from people I wouldn't have expected this, right? And they just sent me a message like, bro, I saw the videos and this and that, and man, it looks fucking cool, good job.
Yeah.
This made my day. Because I didn't count with it, right? I wouldn't expect it from people, because I always think like I'm more the person who always thinks indirectly about the next thing, and I'm not good in being in the moment. And those things really work for me, right? And now I do the same. A friend of mine launches a masterclass now, and I checked the content. I was like, look, bro, I sent him a voice message, man, shit looks really good. Keep on doing what you're doing. It's so simple, but the positive reinforcement to your friends will help you and will help them on being more secure in what they are doing. Yeah. Right?
And also, and with that is also thanking people. If you see someone doing a good job, also doing something for you, say, hey, I saw what you did there. Yeah. Thank you, man. It really meant a lot to me. They will keep doing that, because that's the positive reinforcement. But it's so simple.
It's not... Right, everyone puts their stuff on social media, right? Because not everyone. There are enough people who put it on social media, and I think it's also fine. You show when you do something nice and stuff. But I don't have to put on social media my voice message or like a chat of me where I tell someone else something nice or something good, or when I recommended now a German talent as example to a few bookings.
Yeah.
And I'm not going out and posting it or telling him about it or anything. No. He will see. Look, all I can do is I can give a recommendation.
Yeah.
Right? If it works, man, I'm more than happy that it works. But I don't really need to.
Oh, look me, watch him, and then you just grab the attention that was for him. And then you're just doing it for your own ego.
And then you do it for your own, to a certain extent, for your own ego. If you made it, and then you can still say, "Hey, I'm
the one who helped him." Yeah, I see what you mean.
I'm really happy for you. And then it's up to them to decide if they want to make it public or not. Right? Yeah. It's not on me.
No.
It's just a bit more being self-aware. Talk about the positive and of the negative directly. Right? And yet again, I'm repeating myself. Only because you tell someone that you dislike something about them doesn't mean that you're not friends anymore, or that you don't like that you can't hang out anymore. It's more like, okay, I'm telling you, what you do with it is up to you. Yeah. Mate, I can't force you.
No, and if you say to me, I don't like your behavior, I am not my behavior because I can change my behavior. So that's all. If you criticize something, criticize on what they are doing, not on who they are. No. And that's the fault people make a lot. I don't like you.
And you
don't like what he is doing. That's something different in the message.
And you should also be like respectful with how you say it, right? You
Definitely, yeah.
Look, if I walk around and tell you, you suck because you did this, and this, is not the way. You have to package it in the way that someone would, as you would like it, that someone approaches you.
Yeah.
As simple as that. Yeah. It's all respect, bro. If you treat someone with respect, you expect the respect back, right? And if someone else wants to be treated with respect, then please do it. You treat the people the way you want to be treated. Point.
Yeah.
I'm sounding like a fucking old man preaching here. Fuck me.
Yeah, well, yeah. You're 28, 29?
28, yeah.
28, yeah, old man.
Wow.
No, but this is definitely the conversations that I really love.
Yeah.
Really, because it's really down to who we are as humans and trying to find a way.
I'm blessed. Oh, sorry that I jump in.
No.
I generally find that I'm blessed that I can make my hobby my living at some point, right? I'm still working full time next to it, so everyone thinking that I'm living the most fabulous life ever, I'm working like a fucking donkey. But I am blessed that I'm as far in my life at the moment that I have people who spend their hard-earned money. Maybe they can only go once or twice a year to parties, right? And they spend their hard-earned money to see maybe just me. If from the 100 people we're talking about, there's 10 people who only bought a ticket because they wanted to see me play, I feel as my responsibility that I bring then for these 10 people the best fucking show ever.
Yeah.
Right? And that trickles down to everything in regards to how do I present myself? How can I put myself in a state that I'm in a really good mood to play? Right? How can I... It all it all comes down to that moment. You know what I mean? It's the being self-aware, being prepared for shows, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Anyways, man, that's...
This is...
Look...
It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
This is the conversation that needs to be... that you have to have with people.
Yeah, I think if people just think about it, right? I don't think that we talk here rocket science or anything.
Oh, no,
I think it's fairly much...
I think this is what everyone knows deep down. Because when you talk to people, they come in a sense of awe, like, yeah, you're absolutely right. Yes. So everyone knows this in their core, but it's so piled up with trash and day-to-day life that it's kind of...
Everyone is so much in their own little bubble, right? Which is totally fine. I'm also in my own bubble.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just more aware that I am in my bubble, and I try to reach out.
Yeah.
It's not always possible, and like I said, I'm not the guy I'm not texting every day all my friends like, hey, yo, how are you doing? And blah, blah, blah. It's not meant this way. It's more that when you think about it, when the moment comes up, generally, like, hey, I haven't talked to him in a while, or I have not heard from him, or I saw in the story that he does this and this. But my best friend is in South Africa at the moment, right? I just send him a voice message, look, bro, I hope you have the best time ever, right? Get back to me whenever it fits to you, because it's his time on his vacation. I don't expect a message within a half hour back. First of all, South Africa, I don't even know the time difference. It's a different story. In any way, right? I think to narrow to break it up. Talk.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's for example also I'm living in Groningen in the other side of the northern of the Netherlands, and after this episode I'll go to my family. I haven't seen them for 2 weeks, and most of the time I bring my laptop so I can work there. But I thought yesterday, man, I'm going to my family and I'll be there, and then I'm open my laptop to go to my bubble again. Yeah, I'm never really present. Like, how is my dad really doing, man? Can we do something together? These small things, but that's because you're caught up in your own. Yeah,
and you think because you take it more for granted, right? I'm the same. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
For me now, when I see my family, it's a bit different because I travel just so far for it. Yeah. Right. But also then I try, putting the phone away for a bit because I'm also glued to this fucking thing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Just being a bit more like present in the moment. and shit. If you do that and then just search a conversation, it's the same with your parents, mate. If you ever have any struggles, your parents are the only people
who really know you.
Yeah, with whom you should be able to talk about everything. If you feel you can't, try it, mate. They make.
You won't die of it.
They made you. You feel me?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's really crazy, though.
No,
really. My grandmom, she had to sleep a few days in the hospital because she got a fever and her lungs it really attached to the lungs. And then I realized, wow, this shit, I haven't seen her for like 3 weeks. I should call her, but only when I realized, shit, man, she can die.
Yes, but also only when something happened, we realize, right?
That you're too late, basically.
My dad told me the same. You're only calling when something is up. I was like, bro, you're right.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it in that moment because I am so caught up with.
Yeah, she said that to you.
Yeah,
but that's really interesting because there are two ways to react to that kind of message. The one is defensive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, what's she talking about? I messaged her. But you can also be open and really honest with each other. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
If you get out of your moment and just think about it for a second, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Right, you just call it because what was that and that again, or I asked for a recipe or something, and she's like, you could have also just called normal this and this way. I have a phone reminder in to call my grandma every 2 weeks because else I might forget.
Yeah,
but I don't want
cool.
to.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, you gotta help yourself to remind because.
Yeah, as simple as that. In any way. I think we're done about the mental health talk for today.
Let's go to the service again, man.
Yeah. So, hit me.
We've kind of got a little deep question. I had to work hard to be where I am now, so we can address that for. Explain, man.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I'm doing this for a while now, and I feel that I had a period where. As example, when Valhalla came out in 2021,
what was it?
20, I think. Right before COVID. When was COVID? 2020, I think. March 2020.
Yeah, it feels like it was 2 years ago, but it's over 4 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. But Valhalla came out right before COVID, and that would have been I just recently signed them with the Wishlist agency, so also like having like a nice agency backing me up and everything, and then COVID hit. So that would have been the moment for a breakthrough track, because more or less Valhalla was a hit, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I think it was it. I don't know.
Well, look into the crowd reactions. They all sing along from the first moment it got played.
And that as example was the moment where I thought that my career takes off. But then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And I got kind of in a hole where I was not really sure what to do, or what do I want to do with myself? What kind of sound? I tried to figure it out. It took me a bit to realize, okay, there are possibilities to keep the people entertained. I did Twitch streams and tried with more music releases and a rebrand to kick it off a bit, but also that had like a semi-success. In my eyes, not a big enough success. In people's eyes, they loved it. You know what I mean? So there's again, how do you level yourself? Did I work hard to be where I am? I'd say at the moment, I work harder than I've ever worked for my career. But it's also because what we talked about before, I am more genuine myself since after COVID in regards to content I put out and in regards to the response I get from it, that I realize, okay, I actually can shift my focus from just putting out my content in my style, how I want it, and get a good response from it. It's just that I shifted in regards to how do I say it? It's a weird question, because I think we all work hard to be where we are. You know what I mean? If not, I'm not a fan for handouts or anything. I'm not a fan of nobody's a fan of handouts, I guess, or at least everyone says that they're not a fan of handouts.
Yeah, maybe it's a kind of broad question because working hard is so relative and that's so individual.
Well,
but what I hear that you are working harder now because it's working. and you really find your way to do things.
Yeah, I feel that currently I get more positive response on the stuff I'm doing, so it motivates me to work even harder and to put more stuff on, put even more passion, even more work in the things I'm doing. Right, I make for a website launch, I make a video. When I release merchandise, I make like a nice, funny skit video, something where the people see, okay, he really wants that there's more happening. Make it entertaining, make it fun for everyone. So it's not just an Instagram story saying, hey, new merchandise out next week, here you can buy it. I think everyone can do that, you know, and I have fun doing these extra things. So yes, it is more work for me, but it's work I like doing. So I don't really feel it's the biggest work.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, it doesn't feel like you're working hard, but you're doing a lot more. But with the right amount of passion, and you're really in your zone right now. That it doesn't feel like a burden.
Indeed. And then I had last year like the live show with the Impact show, and also there is for me, because one of the questions is, are live acts?
We can make the jump to the live.
How to keep a live act unique, or is it hard to keep a live act unique? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and it is, because in all honesty, the live act concept is so fucking milked out. Every year people are like, he presents that, he does this, blah, 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 blah. It is, of course, not only the artist's fault, because the promoters, to a certain extent, like to have, it looks for them on a timetable or on a lineup, it just looks nicer.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, when there's more special things. But how far do you want to get it? Right, we have already an event which is doing only live sets. So it's basically every artist,
Supremacy does
every artist is supposed to bring only their special. Yeah, like this is supposedly the pinnacle of like the specialty of a specialty, so to say. But how far do you want to get it? Right. So for me, when I started with Impact, I was like, okay, if I do it, what is my focus? My focus is on the visual aspect. So I want that when people come to the set, they can listen to my music at home. But can they get this show? Can they get like extra? For Impact, I worked with one visual guy. Now for my Out of Control, I have 2 visual creators basically for it, right? So I try for my live shows to step up the show concept, to give them more than just the music, to really put them for 30 minutes in a spot where they see things they might have not seen in that way before. And yes, I can't reinvent the wheel, but I feel that there are a few live acts which do incredibly good for the show aspects. But I think the majority, and that's with all due respect, is doing or they could do more, right? I feel there could be more thought behind it, maybe like a bit more work out the story, or just don't make a live act because you have to make it, or you feel like you have to make a live act. Make it if you have really like you
have something to offer.
Yeah, when you have something to say with it. It's also always easier said if I compare my Impact live show.
Yeah, because what is the biggest difference between Impact and Out of Control from your perspective?
Definitely the visual aspect. Because we work now, I take a lot of inspiration from bass music, so dubstep, mainly dubstep, because those guys, they don't mess around with visuals. In the States, if you see it, they have just one huge LED screen, but the visuals are like really pumping. You can really tell a story to your music. You can put a visual aspect to your music, right? Yeah. So you can really tell the story not only from the hearing aspect, but also from the looking like aspect. So that means for me, what I changed is I have a new live outfit in regards. So it's I don't know if we can probably blend right there a photo in. I hope.
We'll make sure of that.
Make sure of that. Like it's a nice a completely customized outfit, which is suit on me, so to say. So it's a unicat. Is that a like it's a one piece only? I don't know how to say.
Yeah.
Like
okay. Cool. Yeah.
Is it unicat? I have no idea.
I don't know, man.
In German, we say unicat. So whoever knows, you will know.
Yeah, drop it in the comments. So
yeah, let me know in the comments if you know what I mean. So for me, it's okay if I present like a live show. I want to make it as perfect as possible. It starts with how do I present myself. So it has to look, in my eyes, it has to look special. Right, you can, as example, a Warface live with the helmet and the jacket looks unique.
Yeah.
It looks hectic, rebellion.
Overdose.
The overdose
definitely.
thing. I think the boys from Sub-Zero Project are masters in regards to live.
Every year
they do that. They do that in 5 years. But where other people struggle with doing every year a new live concept, those boys have played it through, because every year the branding is fucking tight. The sound they present is great. The outfit is great. The visual show is great. I think it's, for me, one of the only acts which really nails it every year again.
Yeah.
So heads down for that. So for me is, I of course orientate myself in that direction. Okay, what do they do? How do they? Okay, the visuals are impressive. Cool. What do I have to do to get my visual show impressive? Now I work with 2 visual people, because I feel I can bring with my vision more to the table. What's the difference between Impact and Out of Control? Sound and the sound and visual aspect.
Yeah.
So I just try to upgrade myself. I played 9 new tracks at Reverse, 9 new originals. So I try with Out of Control I don't do live. I try to do as little live edits as possible. I don't want to say I don't do live edits. I did 1 for Reverse.
As little live edits as possible. That's also something unique, because most of the time the special acts are.
There's a lot of live edits, and I understand the charm behind it, because when I'm on a dance floor, there's again something new and this and that. But often you don't get, the people will never get the live edits.
No, true.
I think aside Rebellion, that was the only ones who put out like 2 albums with live edits, which is lit. But often you don't get even the live edits. So for me, I want to focus with Out of Control more on originals, and try to bring to every live show 2 new originals.
Cool.
So it's
basically what Deze did with his saga.
With the next level.
Yeah, he also.
What's the next level? I think.
Yeah, and every release, every act of every show, that was a new track, and that had been released a week after.
Indeed.
So that's
I will
really
not
cool.
I will not be able to put out the music a week after. I have to say that already. I'm not that fast, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I like the concept of every.
Yeah, with having like new also originals, right? Because then the people know this music will come out for 100%.
Yeah.
And like I said, of course, I will make a live edit here and there, but I will really try to minimize it as much as I possibly can, because I don't know, I feel like it's not necessary. I changed my style for Out of Control also a bit. I don't do only really hard music now. I go a bit more, I work more with melodies. I try more to integrate the sound I currently like a lot, and I feel in Raw is we miss a little bit like the melodic breaks, a bit more the atmosphere within it, and there's not to shit on anyone, right? I feel everyone should do whatever they like doing, but the focus on Raw at the moment is mainly on kicks. The breaks are with a lot of newcomers and a lot of people who are already longer in the scene. It feels more like a recycled concept.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I'm innovative or anything there. I say for myself, I am innovative now because I change it. I work now more with melodies. You will hear more a climax from me, like a melodic drop.
Yeah.
You will hear kicks in a style I've never done before, right? So
going back to the basics, basically.
Yeah, more or less. I feel that the general raw style music became really hard.
Yeah.
And I think there are so many people who do incredibly good hard music that I will not be able to, as example, with a Mutilator. Man, that guy's on top of it. But
yeah, definitely.
I will never be able to make that kind of music and get the same kind of result from it, right? Because there's already a Mutilator.
Yeah.
I don't want to be Mutilator 2.0.
No, you gotta find your own way.
Indeed. And so I got more into writing melodies. I got more into listening melodies. I listen a lot of classic hardstyle at home, as example, and it's just like trying to bring back a melodic break and vibe, you know, because man, it's nice when you stand on a dance floor. Of course, you go go crazy for like 10 minutes, but then having like a nice
where you can
longer break where you can just stay and be like,
and get it feeling
having a
again.
good hands up melody,
Yeah.
where you feel like, okay, this is it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if we can leave this in, but we know that most of the people pop a fucking pill or anything on the dance floor anyways. And then being in the moment with your mates, right? Coming just from like a 10-minute bender where you just went all out on the drops, and then having like a fat melody where you can just be like,
this is it. Yeah.
This is it. So I try to create more like a vibe and try to reflect it on the visual aspect.
Yeah.
For me, the visual aspect is the most important, because music, you can hear the tracks in 2 weeks at another show, as example. But the live show, the visuals, you can only get at the out of control shows.
Yeah.
And we're working so fucking hard to make every show unique and to make every show as impressive as we possibly can.
Yeah, you can compare the show with the basic chord. Only the C won't make a story. With 3 notes upon each other who are different, they will tell the story combined. And that's the same thing with the show. It's the music, it's the vibe, it's the visuals.
Indeed, and also like creating like show moments, right? At Decibel last year we had like torches or so, which we had to do like a special doing like a special track, and then we had a special visual just for that track. So we create like a moment, an extra show moment during the set, where we try to take the people with us on a. It sounds always so cliche and so cheesy, we take them with on a journey and yada yada.
Yeah, but that's the intention, and that's
indeed
really, man.
And
everyone says that, but that must be the intention.
And I feel that in regards to visuals, hardstyle is lacking a lot if you compare to bass music or whatever, to the possibilities, right? I'm always comparing it to what does another genre do, and where is our genre standing. And I think overall the majority is just we're still in basic school when it comes to visuals. We have a few guys who are already like maybe in the 6th or 7th grade, but the rest of it we all still in like the 4th grade, just figuring out that we have a dick between the legs, that kind of feeling. And I think I want to be one of the first who tries to create really a show moment where people say afterwards, man,
this was next level.
That shit was hectic.
Yeah.
All right.
Reverse though, the main stage, they really did.
Bro, Reverse main stage.
They're always on top of the game with visuals, with how to really grab the whole.
I think this year
venue.
was the best indoor production I've ever seen.
Oh man, it was awesome.
I was blessed to be in because my mate Firelight opened up, so we had to be there an hour before set, and we were able to see like the show elements already, like the rundown they do beforehand, the test, mate. Standing in that area, in that hall, empty, and then just seeing the roof elements come down, the visuals go from there all the way to the back, and then they had like a 3D. I don't know how to explain it. It had like a portal build up, like it was a special like LED technique and shit. It was wild, right? And then I feel like when you have these kind of elements, then you need to also, as an artist, you should take this opportunity to be like, bro, I can put my visuals on it. I can make sure it was my logo, as example. I maybe sound a little arrogant here, but I fucking love my logo. So I
shout out to Noah, our guy.
Noah, good boy. But it's the you know what I mean? It's like
definitely,
I'm proud of that shit, and I wanted to.
Hey, you should be, man.
And I want to thank you. I want to present it in the best way possible. So I'm really dialed in, and I'm having now luckily a team around with Noah as example as my as a designer, who's.
He also did our logo and the visuals, and so he's
madly talented, right?
He's amazing.
I have now two visual guys. I have 2 camera people I always work with. I have a manager, and I have finally a team around me where I feel that I am able to present or to do something what other people are maybe not able to put together, and with, of course, only with the resources available, right? I'm not making millions. I'm not making 10,000s per show or anything. So with the resources available and the dedication my team puts in putting my mind fog into a visual aspect based on my music is every time incredible to see.
Yeah, it
And
must be liberating, man, to see your most crazy ideas sometimes really seeing it out there.
And it's not, like I said, I'm not used to it, right? I'm doing this stuff now since 17, 18.
Yeah,
I
17
think.
was the first release.
You know that better than me.
Yeah, I had to look it up this morning.
Yeah, Recruit. I know the track name, but
Was it on? No, it wasn't.
SoundCloud only.
Oh, and the first release on Spotify. It wasn't on. No, it was Dirty Works. It was a remix though.
For Digital Minds.
Yeah.
And before I had Recruit on SoundCloud, fucking Machine Gun on SoundCloud. That was like, as example, the period where I thought everything had to be military and great, because that was the time that was how raw, like serious. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So fast forward from there to here, I'm now. I'm like I said, I'm happier than ever with where I am, and more excited than ever with what I can bring to the table, because I know we work our asses off.
Yeah.
We call twice a week with the whole team around, right? Once or twice, and try to check in, make sure how's everything going? Can we help each other out? And everyone is willing to pull on the same string. And that probably with your podcast now as well. You're not doing this fully alone, right? There's like a team.
We're a team with 9 guys. They're not here, but everyone is working their asses off.
Indeed, and there's nothing better when you see that everyone pulls on the same string, and after a while, like you don't see the results right away. And Hardstyle is usually like a half year. Everything I do now will pay out in a half year. Around. So I did in 2022. I didn't release music for from June 2022 until January 2023. I think 7 months. Yeah, around 7 months I didn't release any music because I get anxiety from it, and I didn't feel comfortable with it because of I compared myself too much with other people. I was like looking too much on numbers, and then I didn't got in the chart high enough, or I didn't make the same amount of streams as someone else did in the first days. The struggles, what I can't control in that given moment. What we're talking about before. But I was beating myself up with this stuff. Nowadays, I'm just, all right, here's a release. We make the best out of it. We release it. I barely check any numbers because I genuinely don't care too much about it. Yes, there are tracks where I feel like this should do really, really well. And if it doesn't do really well, then I'm crying at Diederik's shoulder. Diederik is my manager to everyone.
Yeah, we had him on the 3rd episode, I guess.
And
with Troy.
Then I'm still, I'm crying still, sometimes a little bit. But overall, I'm more in the mindset that I just don't care anymore. I don't flex with any numbers or so, because I feel people should be able to, if they book me for my music, and not for my music, for my performance, for my concept, for me, and not for the numbers. At least, of course, it also correlates, but it's not the main thing. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's more in that regard. I don't know from where we came to this, but
I don't know, man. That's I think that's a good sign of a good convo, that you just go with the flow and you just end up in the end of the world here. I've got a Kiss, Marry, Kill variant of the Hardstyle one, so that will be track, collab, kick. So I've got 3 names here:
track, collab, and kick.
Yeah, and then
kick means I want the
you can grab a kick from that guy. Collab means that's
making collab with him.
Yeah, and track is you can steal a track from his all right, disco. How do you pronounce it? Discography. Yeah, and then it will be yours, so no one really noticed that. So I've got E-Force, Rebellion, and Riot Shift. And let's start off with the track.
With the track, I think Rebellion, City Lights.
Yeah, man.
Mate, absolute a hit, right? Yeah, the vibe, and this shows again that also the guys who can make incredible hard music, right, can make also like a masterpiece music-wise, which is not the hardest, but they did it every year with Never Back Down. Also, such a powerful song, man. Yeah, and it's like I really like that kind of vibe. I think they have also another, also like Das ist kein Techno, fantastic track, right? But I think City Lights would be my track I would choose.
Cool. Next one, collab. You've got E-Force and Right Shift Left.
I would collab with E-Force. I mean, we actually wanted to do already a collab. It still has to happen at some point. I think with E-Force, I have the childhood memories, right? I know him from Beat Providers, like his early act in E-Force, and I really like that darker raw vibe, but the screeches, right? I think his screeches with my kicks could be a really, really nice combination.
Yeah, especially now, since he has gone back to his roots, basically. With the new album.
His latest album was cool, and he also played already some newer tracks, which are also sounding really, really tight. So I think an E-Force collab would be hectic. And then the kick from Riot Shift. I like as people might hate me for it, right? But the laser kicks they did. They had like a period when they did for the laser beams edit. Yeah, I think that's fairly cool. I know, not laser beams edit. Yeah, the laser. I would like to use that laser kicks. I think that's pretty cool. Or they have like a really dark, like really darkish gated sound. Is that from? Oh, I'm so bad with track names. Ole, Connor, I love you both. I'm so sorry. I'm struggling with the name. Let's just go with the laser kick for now. Guys, definitely. I'm so sorry. This is not negative.
They're really, man. They're also the next level. They're so unique with their own sounds and singing.
It's one of the tightest brandings we have in Hardstyle, right? Because they do the vocals. I think it's you hate it or you love it, right? And I think branding wise is super tight. The whole trap metal thing. Then with them, they have always the style is always really, really tight. And of course with the vocals from Connor, it's lit.
It's impressive.
Yeah, I wish I could do it. If I start to scream like that, they think a little girl gets killed around the corner or so. I don't know.
Cool, man. Hey, we've got some previews. We've got some tracks here that our sound engineer will play. The first one is yet unknown, but we've got it sent in.
Bro,
so it's not released yet. So
I get the hottest shit here. All right.
So the first one is called Plan A, though, but we don't know yet.
Never need a plan B, sticking to your memory, and this is where we be. We always get the plan A, never need a plan B, sticking to your memory, and this is where we be. We always get the plan A. Plan A. Plan B. Never need a plan B. Plan B. We always get the plan A, never need the plan B.
So, first impression?
It's really, really cool. I like the vocal. I think the first kick needs to hit a little bit harder.
Like the punch.
Yeah.
Or
the overall kick. Right? I think it needs a bit more like a little bit more power, but probably in the mix they can fix it.
Cool. We'll just give the feedback.
I believe the vocal is dope. The second kick is also nice, right? The nice gated kick switch works really well. That's a solid track.
Well,
I like it.
We'll send the feedback to him.
All right. Now
the second one is from one of the guys that is here, from the Phantom guys. So, bring it on.
Okay, so I have to watch what I'm saying, right?
It's hectic, also because it's spoon tag, and that's of course your mates delete.
Yeah. I think generally like spoon tag. I love that spoon tag still exists, right? I think it's having more hype than ever at the moment in regards to the responsiveness on it. I love Spoontake for my personal sets. It's just unfortunately too dark to play, but I know why people like it. This is like more the raw core as you know it. As example, this track is hectic. I love the vocal. Right, that is still something I'm trying to figure out. You know, the spoken word, video game-ish vibe. The same what the lead did a little bit when in the past, right? That kind of vocal style.
Yeah.
Is really, really nice. I'm too dumb for it.
Especially now with AI, you can basically do whatever you want if you've got the right skill and tools. But
yeah, I think
it can make a difference in a track, though.
I use AI a lot for changing, as example, male vocals into female or vice versa.
Oh, really?
There's a few sides which make it really, really crisp. But overall, man, I'm happy that Spoontake is popping as it does at the moment, right? I know a lot of my friends also really like that because they like the more dark. For them, raw was always like a dark, angry, meany vibe, right? And I understand it. I mean, I came up from that period as well. So good job to the boys.
Yeah.
I hope.
And the legacy of Ryan, of course.
And the legacy of Ryan may never be forgotten.
Yeah.
I mean, that is still something I find fascinating, right? The guy who paved the way for gated kicks is, since he's dead, right? A lot of people who came in after his death never heard of the lead track, as example. They don't know that he's mainly not the only person, of course, but probably one of the biggest persons to put gated kicks on the map as they are, especially towards the end of his life, right? Like with his last album and everything, he really paved the way for the raw sound, which is currently the biggest poppin'.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
an inspiration of so many, also from just. Yeah, definitely. I mean,
said that. Yeah. He has been an inspiration for a lot of people, and definitely a big loss in regards to the scene, because I think even though he didn't release as much music, I believe that the music he would release by now would be one of the guys who could push the envelope in raw style even further. Yeah, and I feel that's currently is not missing, but
everyone is waiting on it.
Yeah, I think the Dual Damage guys push it in a direction which is really, really interesting and fun. But I feel that we're still waiting for like a new kind of gated kick, for a new kind of kick style which comes in. Yeah. Like the PVC thing is really, really dope, but I like it. But I know a lot of people who don't like it, so it's like it's a give or take, you know. Mm-hmm. But overall, man, I'm curious what the scene has to offer.
Yeah, definitely, man. The third one is a remix that came out today of Levi Kryax from
Animals.
Did you already heard it?
I heard it already. Yeah. It's cool. I
really love the track, man, from back in the days.
Now I'm curious which drop you will show me.
It's solid. It's good.
As a class remix, right? Yeah. Levi did a really, really good job. Plus, I think it's not the easiest to touch a R&D track and a hard driver track. No. Because their quality is, I think, was the highest we have in regards to sound design, etc. Plus, Animals was a big track back in the days. He did an amazing job, right? Shout out Levi, good shit. I like it a lot.
Yeah, definitely, man. And we've got 2 tracks of yours, so we're gonna play that one as well.
Look, and now everybody, you have to look at him, because I, of course, know what's coming, right? Now how the tables have turned, ladies and gentlemen. How the tables have turned. Spin it, DJ.
Which track is this?
Huh?
Which track?
It's my new track, Out of Control, solo track.
I am out of control. Brace yourself, I'm out of control. Everybody lose control. The situation is out of control. Lose control. Out of control.
Nice.
Yeah. We can't give you everything yet, but that is also as example. Yeah, that's the Out of Control track in general, right? I try. First of all, curious what you think before I try to explain what I tried to do.
Oh man, that first kick was typical Imperatorz, so I love that coming back because that's some kind of homecoming. But then the kick switch, that's
a bit harder. Hey.
yeah, with the high pitched punch and then the really gated deep tail, man. That's
Thanks.
next level, man. And I really fucking love the vocals. Out of control.
Yeah. Look at this, destroying the whole studio now. Yeah, just trying to. That's what I mean. It's not trying to go too hard, right?
No.
But I know also that we have a second track queued, and that is a little bit harder, a tiny bit, right? I don't want to spoil too much. I'd say because we have an external DJ here at the moment, right? We're not doing this ourselves.
No. Yeah, Milan. Shout out.
It's a hands-free situation here. I'd say give him the first half of the drop. I think we have it queued nicely, like right in the break, and then you get a break, you get a drop, and then with that one, I'm really curious what you think, because that is more.
So we're starting at the break.
We start at the break, and then you get the
second drop.
Then you get the main drop, and that is one of the hardest tracks I've done so far.
Okay, cool, man. I'm really fucking curious.
I'm destroying my shoe here. Fuck me that.
I fucking love the acid.
And now we get to the part where we want to go.
Here comes the fucking band. Shut the fuck
Like I said,
I fucking love those kick switches. Ding, gung, 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 gung.
Yeah,
that's also what Do It Damage introduced, right?
They brought it back, right? We had in 2018, 19 already like a period where we had like a lot of kick switches and everything in track.
Yeah.
But they brought the fun back in regards to how to introduce a new kick, and a few of the kick switches which are happening at the moment in Raw are for me a bit too much. It's like too hard tried, but I of course implement as much as I feel comfortable with in my track. So I think like these kind of kick switches work fairly cool. And like you said, right, this is the track was made with an intention for like a live show, So
Yeah,
that's
man.
my
The first part with the dubstep,
yeah,
the
yeah.
right visuals, man. That's gonna be next level.
Yeah, indeed, and that's what I try to do, right? To make also the music in regards to how can I visualize it live and how can me and my team put it into a nice perspective. Of course, I don't make it for the visuals.
No, but you keep it in mind.
Yeah, indeed. So, and this is probably like the hardest thing I've done in a bit.
It's amazing, man.
Thank
I want
you.
to thank you a lot for the past.
I have no idea.
I have no fucking clue, man. But it was really, it was all over it wasn't all over the place, but feeling wise, like really deep to ending with a bang. And I found it personally very inspiring. And I really love what you're doing and how you move yourself through the world as a human being. So thank you a lot, man.
No, thank you, man. Look, I'm new to podcasts. It's now the second I've done, and I think it's great that you guys are doing it. I hope that what we talked about maybe helps people a little bit on. Of course, from the music aspect, like all that talk that helps out, of course.
Yeah.
But also for me, more important, I think on the
human side.
On the human side, because mate, in the end, we're all in this together. There's enough cake for all the artists, so to say. If we all work together, our scene is growing so fast, exponentially compared to 10 years ago.
Yeah, definitely, man.
So who knows what is in the next 10 years happening? Be kind to each other. That. If everyone treats each other with the same respect they want to be treated with, mate, we live in golden times.
Yeah, definitely.
More events than ever, more promoters than ever, more artists than ever.
Yeah.
Right? We make shit happen, right?
Yeah.
I appreciate the invite. I hope you could learn something, and also you. And yeah, they don't see me.
I'll point for you.
Perfect.
And you.
And make sure to like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill.
Yeah, definitely.
To the boys.
And also to you, man. At Imperatorz Official, at Instagram.
Yeah.
And also at YouTube.
Check out Imperatorz.com, where you find everything. Right? We have now a website, so
cool. Yeah.
Gotta plug it wherever I can.
Sure. We'll just hit it at
what?
At the description.
Yeah,
definitely, man.
We throw it in, and else, guys, if you like, let us know in the comments what you think of it, and we get back at you. I think that's the best to do.
Cool, man. Imperatorz, thanks.
Oh, thank you, Kevin, mate. Kevin's together. Let's go.